welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day video. Today's video is brought to you in partnership with my friends at Pure Rose, and we are going to be using their rose extract in some of today's recipes. The reason why I'm so excited to partner with them is that one, like 2 years ago, I had an amazing rose matcha latte, and I've been trying to recreate it for the past 2 years. Finally found a product that I can do that, so I will be showing you how to do that in this video. That's very exciting. The second thing is that we're also going to be focusing on stress in this video. And one of the key benefits of incorporating rose into your routine, whether it's through diet or on your skincare, is that it's very calming and it's very stress relieving. So we're gonna be talking about stress in today's video. I'm gonna be showing you some meals that I make when I feel like I'm very short on time, like feeling overwhelmed, feeling kind of stressed. So these meals are gonna be really quick and easy, really healthy, packed with like healthy fats and good stuff for your brain. And we'll also be kind of ending the day with a really relaxing tonic that also uses rose. So as always, I will be sharing more information about Pure Rose throughout this video, but if you wanna check them out, I have linked everything that you need to know down in the description box. They also have an amazing bundle deal, so that is linked for you down below, and that is definitely the best way to get started. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's What I Eat in a Day video. So I actually started my day working out, and I had half of a protein bar, I had half of a peanut butter red bar, which I love. They are in my shop if you're interested in checking them out. They're so good. They have protein, they have a little bit of caffeine, and they're great for pre-workout. Then I went home and made my matcha and my smoothie bowl, and we're gonna talk about how I did both of those right now. Okay, so for the rose latte, I am going to be using my regular matcha, and then I'm also gonna be adding in some of the rose nectar instead of my traditional pumpkin pie spice. So let me show you what this looks like because it's awesome. Look at Trevi sleeping. Okay, so this is the Pure Rose Nectar, and it's actually not rose water, it's actually rose nectar. And the difference is that this hasn't been diluted with a bunch of additives. The roses are harvested in a very short period of time in the spring. I think it's in May. It's done in like 3 weeks time. They harvest them, and then they add in the rose extract and organic rose oil. So there's only 2 ingredients in here. There's 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 additives. So this is by far the highest quality rose nectar or rose like ingestible type of rose that you can find on the market. I know that there are a lot of things on Amazon like rose waters and everything like that. Don't buy those because they are not high quality and they are not ingestible. So if there is something that you want to add like rose flavor to into your food or your drinks, this is what you want, and don't forget, it's linked down below. So now let's go ahead and make our rose matcha latte. It is so good. So I know you guys have seen me make this 100 times, but I'll still explain it just because I know you like it. So I add in about a teaspoon of matcha powder. I'm using the Avocado tea here. I sweeten with monk fruit extract. I add in my adaptogen powders. Today I'm using jasmine tocos and lion's mane. And then instead of my traditional pumpkin pie spice, which I usually do, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of the Pure Rose Nectar. It's so delicious and it smells absolutely incredible, and it's not overpowering at all, which I loved. It gives it like that faint hint of rose. And then I also add in some coconut butter, which gives it some healthy fats and also some creaminess. Top that with my hot water, blend it up in my blender until it is smooth and creamy and combined. Pour it into my mug, and that is that. Now that you saw me make my rose matcha, I'm going to make my standard breakfast, which is like my 5-minute meal. It's my smoothie bowl. You guys know I love my smoothie bowls. This isn't something that you haven't seen before, so I don't need to do a big intro for it, but yeah, just like the best breakfast ever. I love them so much. So the smoothie bowl today, I used baby kale as my base, and then I also added in some raw cacao powder as well as some chocolate protein powder and some yin powder, which is another adaptogen powder blend. I added in my frozen cauliflower, which again, I've talked about this before, but adds some creaminess without adding a lot of extra sugar. And then the fruit I used today were frozen cherries. Topped that with my coconut water and regular water. Blended it up until it was smooth and creamy and thick and perfect smoothie bowl consistency. Poured it into my bowl, and toppings today were my famous banana bread granola. This is one of the most popular recipes that you guys have been making on Instagram. I'll link it down below for you if you're interested in checking it out. It's also linked in the corner of this video. And then I also added in some flaked coconut and a big spoonful of peanut butter because I need to get in some healthy fats with all of my meals. So this was my chocolate bowl of goodness, and it was absolutely to die for. We're back in the kitchen for lunch, and lunch today is going to be one of the things that I just always turn to when I'm feeling stressed out, and that is toast. So I'm gonna be making some toast, really, really easy. You guys have seen me make toast before, but this is just like one of my favorite things. It's just so delicious, and there's something about carbs that I just love when I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So that's why I tend to reach for more like carby or starchy foods, things like pasta and bread and things like that. So I am going to just like make a standard lunch toast, and it's so easy and so good. So like I said, I am making some toast. I'm actually gonna be making some sweet and savory toast. So the first one is apple nut butter toast, and the second one is gonna be just standard avocado toast. And I thought as I was cutting this apple, I would talk a little bit about some of the techniques I use for stress relief. One of them being quick and easy meals in the kitchen. I don't wanna overwhelm myself in the kitchen when I am feeling overwhelmed in general in life. So I stick with the basics, I stick with things I know, and I stick with things that take me about 10 minutes to make. Lunch doesn't have to be complicated. For me, it's just as simple as slicing up 2 pieces of toast and topping it with some of my favorite flavors. It's really that easy. Healthy eating doesn't have to be challenging, and it doesn't have to add more stress to your life. So once I've sliced up my apple, I just pull out my toast from the toaster oven. I'm using some sprouted gluten-free toast here. I spread one with whatever nut butter I have on hand. This is a homemade, I think, chocolate almond butter, which will be coming to the blog soon. And then I top that one with my sliced apple. And then the other one is going to be avocado toast. I take a whole half of an avocado, yes, an entire half. I do not count calories, and I am all about the healthy fats. So I smash that right on top of my toast until it is smashed. And then I top that with a little bit of sea salt, some cracked pepper, and some pepper flakes. And I personally love the blend of sweet and savory. I always have the savory one first, and then I have the sweet one after because it kind of tastes like my dessert. This might seem like a fairly light lunch for some people, but for me, it worked out really well, just like the timing of my day, and I actually ended up having a semi-early dinner, so I was a-okay. And then I also have that extra protein, half protein bar in my fridge if I get hungry in the afternoon. So I am ready to start making dinner. I'm actually flying solo tonight, so I am just gonna whip up one of my favorite meals. You guys have actually seen me make this before, but I just love it. It's my tofu spring rolls. They're so good, they're so easy, and when I'm feeling like I have like a little bit more on my plate than normal, like I'm feeling stressed out, like we've been talking about throughout this whole video, I love doing really simple meals that I know how to make, like the back of my hand. That's a tip for you, that just if you're feeling overwhelmed with life, work, school, whatever, stick to what you know, stick to your basics, stick to those recipes that you can make really quickly, that don't take a lot of mental effort, because I know that it can feel a little bit overwhelming in the kitchen sometimes, so why add more stress? So I am just gonna make my really easy tofu spring rolls. So let's go ahead and flip you around and show you how to do the tofu first. So you guys have seen me make this before, but first we're going to slice open the tofu. Make sure you drain it. I use extra firm whenever possible, and then I cut it into strips. I then lightly spray a baking sheet with avocado oil spray, and then I add on my tofu strips, and then I just season them with salt and pepper. That's all you need to do. And I pop these in a 400-degree oven for about 30 minutes until they're crispy. While those are cooking, I get started with the vegetables. So I am going to just thinly slice up some carrots into matchsticks. You could also spiralize them, or you could use like a mandolin slicer, but I felt like this carrot was kind of small, so I didn't want to cut myself, and I just did it with a knife. And then I also thinly sliced up some red bell pepper. I had half of one left over in my fridge, so I just sliced that up into strips as well. And then I also sliced up some green onions or some scallions, and again, just slice those up into thin strips. From there, I just spiralized one zucchini, and this acts as my noodles. Like in traditional spring rolls, you have noodles, so these are my noodles. I love zucchini noodles so much, they're one of my favorites. And the spiralizer I have is the InSpiralizer. It's awesome. I'll link it down for you below. From there, I flip the tofu, so just make sure you flip it over, pop it back in the oven. You're gonna flip it like at the halfway point, pop it back in the oven, and then it will get nice and crispy. And then when you are ready to assemble, you are going to use rice paper wraps. I use brown rice paper wraps just because I don't know why, they're more whole grain. And I add them into hot water first to let them soften. And then I just pull them out of the hot water and put them directly onto my stone countertop. And then I add a piece of nori on top of that, and that is actually going to help you keep them for longer in your fridge because the nori acts as like a barrier between the watery vegetables and the rice paper. So you can meal prep these. Add that on top, and then you're just gonna add on your vegetables, tofu, and noodles, and you're just gonna basically fold it up like a burrito, fold it on each side, and then roll it up away from you. Then for my sauce, I made a tahini dipping sauce today. So I used about 2 teaspoons of tahini, maybe a full tablespoon, and then I added in some gluten-free low-sodium tamari, as well as some sriracha sauce, and then also some lime juice, and I just whisk this up with my spoon until it is nice and creamy. Sometimes you might have to add in a little bit of water to thin it out, just depends on the consistency that you get from your tahini that day. So just stir it all together until you get a dipping sauce, and that's dinner. I love these rolls. I usually have 3 to 4 of them as my meal, and they are absolutely delicious. They are so easy to make, and like I said, you can meal prep them, and they just taste so good. I'm editing this video and wanting to make more for dinner tonight. All right, so post dinner, first of all, here's my little cutie pie. Love her so much. Post dinner, I made a turmeric rose latte, and then I also did some stress relieving things, which we'll talk about in a second. So turmeric is really grounding. It's a really great after dinner spice, and this one is like the packet from Four Sigmatic. You guys have seen me talk about this before, but I just add it right into my blender, and then I sweetened it with a little bit of honey, and then I added in, again, 2 teaspoons of the rose nectar, which is such a great combination with this turmeric. It is absolutely so relaxing. A splash of almond milk and hot water. And then again, just like the matcha in the morning, I blend this up until it's smooth and creamy in my blender, pour into my mug. And then just to make it look pretty, I sprinkled it with some dried rose petals that I bought on Amazon. It just like makes it look really pretty, and I feel fancy drinking it. So that is the first thing that I like to do when I'm stressed out and need some extra relaxation, is to make a latte. The second thing that I like to do is a mask. You guys know I love masks. And one of the ones that I'm loving right now is this sweet cherry brightening enzyme peel. So it's a mask, but it's also an exfoliating peel. And it's really great to do at night because then you can layer on all of your skincare products, and it's just like so nourishing. So this one's from Naturopathica. I'll link it down in the description box for you. I love it. I just put a thin layer all over my face, and I just let it sit for about 5 minutes. I like look on Instagram, reply to DMs. Takes about 5 minutes for it to work. And then you can just rinse it off. And once you've rinsed it off, just pat your face dry. And then my new favorite thing to do is to use my toner in combination with this rose nectar. So what I do is I take a little cotton round, an organic cotton round, and I spritz my toner on it. I spritz a bunch of the toner. Once I have all the toner on there, I just take the Pure Rose Nectar bottle, and just like you would with like nail polish remover, I just put it on top and then dip the bottle over to get the nectar out onto the little cotton swab. And then I just rub this all over my face, and oh my gosh, you guys, it feels incredible. And it left my face feeling so smooth and just, oh my gosh, I love it. And this is such a great thing to do at night because it's really, again, calming and relaxing. I also get in bed early when I am stressed out. So I try to get in bed around 9:15 or 9:30. And what I'll do is I'll just like set the mood in my bedroom and read. So I start by lighting a candle. I have a soy candle next to my bed. I then add some oils into my diffuser, and then I also read. So I have a Kindle and I'm all about reading these days. It's really relaxing. It helps me get in the headspace of going to bed. And if you guys are interested in more nightly routine information, I actually have a blog post about it, which I'll link down below for you, so you can check that out and learn more about it. But overall, just a great way to wind down and end the day. And there you have it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed today's What I Eat in a Day video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions about anything that we talked about today. I hope that some of these tips that I shared in today's video are gonna help you feel a little bit less stressed and maybe incorporate a little bit more relaxation into your life, because we could all use it. Of course, I also wanna thank Pure Rose for joining us in today's video. Don't forget to get all of those special deals and everything that I mentioned throughout today's video in the description box below. Highly recommend checking out the bundle deal, because that is the best way for you to not only save money, but like try their products. So definitely do that. And then also I encourage you to follow them on social media, because they are coming out with a skincare product very soon, which I am pumped about. You saw me use the Rose Nectar on my face, but they have a spray coming out, which is gonna be like the highest quality rose water spray on the market. It's amazing. So definitely stay tuned for that. I will definitely be sharing it when it comes out as well. So make sure that you're following me on Instagram at Simply Quinoa, and them on Instagram. I'll link their stuff down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next video, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye!